Saudi Arabia has recently revealed its ambitious proposal for the largest construction project ever known as the Mirror Line, which is projected to measure an astounding 500 meters in height and span over 170 kilometers in length. However, what motivates such an extraordinary undertaking? Is it possible to execute, or are there alternative motives at play? Let us delve into these questions. Saudi Arabia has recently announced a grand mega project called the Mirror Line, which is considered to be the largest and most extravagant project ever proposed. The Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has proposed the construction of two parallel skyscrapers, each towering 500 meters tall, spanning 170 kilometers of mountain and desert terrain. To put this into perspective, the project would be equivalent to constructing 2001 World Trade Centers side by side twice over. Considering that only 12 skyscrapers in the world have surpassed the 500-meter mark, the idea of building 4,000 of them simultaneously in one location seems absurd. The question arises, why has Saudi Arabia proposed such an audacious plan? Is it feasible, or is it simply a ploy to garner global attention? One explanation could be that the project is part of Saudi Vision 2030, a transformation plan that aims to diversify the country's economy and reduce its dependence on oil. This plan is known for its ambitious goals and is considered to be one of the most ambitious transformation plans globally. The kingdom declared Vision 2030 in 2016, which aimed to diversify its economy and decrease its reliance on oil by transitioning towards tourism, technology, and other sectors. In pursuit of this objective, they have disclosed a blueprint for a futuristic smart city named Neom, which comprises of three colossal mega projects. The primary section of this development is an 8-sided floating industrial complex known as the Octagon, which would function as a port for shipping routes via the Red Sea. The city will also include a prominent outdoor skiing destination in the Arabian Peninsula called Trojena, where entertainment and events will take place throughout the year. However, none of these projects compare to the grandeur of the Mirror Line, which was initially revealed in January 2021. Recently, further details of the Mirror Line have emerged, and describing it as insane would be an understatement. Mirror Line. So, what exactly is the Mirror Line? The Mirror Line comprises two towering buildings that stretch parallel to each other over a distance of 170 kilometers through desert terrain, each standing at a staggering height of 500 meters. These two colossal structures will boast mirrored exteriors, with only 200 meters of space between them to accommodate a city of 9 million inhabitants. The linear city will commence in the Gulf of AQABA in the Red Sea and traverse through the mountains and deserts of the country. The two reflective facades will be linked via walkways, with most of the interiors designed vertically to contain public parks, offices, and residential units atop one another. In essence, their goal is to vertically stack the components of a typical metropolis on top of one another. Additionally, their proposal calls for the use of cutting-edge technology and is completely sustainable. Vertical gardening will be built into the 500-meter-high walls to feed the inhabitants. In addition, the building is planned to have a sports arena that rises 305 meters above the ground and a marina for boats. Can they construct it? Yet, can it be constructed? Or when will it be? The Mirror Line is an incredibly ambitious project that aims to stack an entire city's infrastructure vertically, creating a towering wonderland unlike anything ever built before. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince has referred to it as a revolution in civilization, but it almost seems like something out of a fiction book. However, the reality is that Saudi Arabia intends to build parts of the Mirror Line by 2030 and house more than 1 million tenants. While humanity has successfully constructed massive structures in some of the most challenging landscapes, the Mirror Line's promise seems too grand to be realized in such a short amount of time. Furthermore, Saudi Arabia's track record when it comes to building extraordinary skyscrapers isn't exactly impressive. For instance, the Jeddah Tower, which was planned to be the world's tallest building, is currently on hold and only reaches about one-third of its intended height. But the country boasts the fourth tallest skyscraper in the world. When comparing the Mirror Line to the Grand Plans of Illinois over 60 years ago, it seems almost insane. The Illinois was supposed to be a mile high, which was an unimaginable feat at the time. Like Illinois, the Mirror Line may remain limited to paper, or in this case, 3D renderings and marketing videos. While the project's potential is fascinating, only time will tell if it will come to fruition or remain a dream. Yet, this time around, everyone is tuned in, and almost 50 million individuals have already seen one of their commercials. Are there any further goals? Why then does Saudi Arabia make such an exceptional proposal, given that its commitments are almost unattainable? Since Mohammed bin Salman assumed leadership of Saudi Arabia, the country has been working to rebrand its image. Projects like the Mirror Line are a key part of this effort. Tourism is a priority for Saudi Arabia, and the country hopes to diversify its economy by attracting visitors from all around the world. But as of now, most travelers to the country come for religious purposes. By announcing ambitious projects like the Mirror Line, Saudi Arabia aims to present itself as a modern, forward-thinking nation with so much to offer. The Mirror Line is also a personal passion project for the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who has likened it to some of the Middle East's most iconic mega projects and dubbed it as My Pyramids. The project is intended to become a defining landmark for NEOM, Saudi Arabia's planned smart city of the future, and its announcement has generated significant anticipation and excitement. Besides its practical aims, the Mirror Line can also be seen as a visionary research project, exploring alternative urban structures and cutting-edge transportation concepts. NEOM's website describes the city as a vision of what new future might look like, and the Mirror Line represents an ambitious step towards making that vision a reality. Responses and critiques. The announcement of the Mirror Line has captured international attention for Saudi Arabia, but the response has not been positive. Many questions remain unanswered, particularly about the environmental impact of building a city with a 100% sustainable transport system and zero emissions. Critics have pointed out that such a massive construction project would leave behind a massive carbon footprint, estimated to emit close to 2 billion tons of CO2, according to Oldfield at the University of New South Wales. This is more than 4 years of all CO2 emissions in the UK, making the promise of a carbon-neutral city seem less convincing. Furthermore, critiques have raised concerns about Saudi Arabia's human rights record and the potential human cost of these plans. It's important to acknowledge that the proposed construction of NEOM and the Mirror Line in Saudi Arabia has generated significant criticism and concern. The displacement of indigenous tribes and the forced relocation of thousands of people is a serious issue that cannot be ignored. Additionally, reports of human rights abuses and the lack of effective labor reforms have raised serious questions about the ethical implications of this project. Saudi Arabia faces significant obstacles in convincing foreign investors to support this trillion-dollar project, especially given the country's flimsy human rights record. The promise of a carbon-neutral city is compelling. The potential environmental impact of construction emissions must also be taken into account. While the Mirror Line may be an impressive feat of engineering on paper, it remains to be seen whether it can be implemented in reality. Many experts and analysts have expressed doubts about the feasibility of the Mirror Line as a whole. They believe that the final design and implementation may be different from what has been advertised on various media platforms. Saudi Arabia lacks the necessary expertise and resources to turn their ambitious plans to reality. Even with foreign help, completing a project this size seems like a daunting task that could take decades to achieve. Furthermore, the Mirror Line raises questions about whether people would want to live in such a place. While it's an interesting concept that offers a different way of living, it's unclear if it will appeal to the masses. What are your thoughts on Saudi Arabia's plans for NEOM and the Mirror Line? Do you think they are possible? or will they remain science fiction fantasies? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content.